Heidi-ho neighbors, Radio Goji here, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man 5. This is kind of a take two on this part, because I felt I could have done it so much better. First off and foremost, I was actually incorrect about my assumption of what the crystals did. They actually give us an item that cuts down the amount of special energy that is used by our weapons. It does not give us a homing punch attack. I was getting confused with Mega Man 7. Also, we are right near the boss. Uranus, as I experienced in my previous run-through of this, which I guess can be considered a practice run, is actually a lot bigger of a pain in the ass than he might seem. He shoots blocks at us, and his weakness is indeed the break dash. But the break dash is a little hard to pull off against him, mainly due to the fact that he is constantly stomping the ground, and when he's stomping the ground, we're basically jumping around and can't pull the break dash off. Although I am actually I actually was able to do a much better job of it there. The last take, I spent all of my break dash, and like the first 3/4 of the bar of break dash didn't even hit him because of the way he was shaking the ground. I had to finish him off with the buster, but I guess I was a lot luckier this time around. Maybe I should do everything on a second take from now on. So, for defeating Uranus, we get Deep Digger, which is, basically we find these little blocks on the ground, pick them up, and we throw them at enemies, and if they hit the wall or hit an enemy, it'll turn into four smaller blocks that'll go off in other directions. It's a very, very useful move. However, the only places we can use it are where they're actually blocks that we can pick up. Kind of like Gutsman's Super Arm. So now that we actually have enough P-chips, we're going to go ahead and get the Clobber Hand. And, now we don't really have to save up our P-chips for anything. So I'm going to spend 60 of them on an energy refill. Because I don't think I can afford a weapon, or an energy tank. I don't think I can afford a weapon refill. So yeah. So any P-chips I'll probably be spending on energy tanks or whatever. Now we can actually, since we've beaten all 4 of the Outer Planet Robot Masters, we can go on to fight Terra, but I'm actually going to hold off on that and instead go for getting the rest of the crystals. You can see I got the crystal in Uranus' stage, so that's over his silhouette there. And we're going to be going back to Jupiter to get that crystal, because I've actually had some practice on this level. Normally, for those of you who have seen my LPs before, you would probably think that I would just cut to the area, but I really don't feel like editing things out. And although Audacity has been pretty good on this computer during doing segments that are over 15 minutes long, I really don't want to risk running too long of a file and then having it crash and then having to redo the entire part again. And I really don't have a lot of time to be doing like a full episode, like a huge-ass episode like that, and then edit it down because you have to work in a couple hours. And after work I'm probably not going to be able to do it, because my brother's been spending a lot of time on Xbox Live talking with people during the night, and unless you want to hear him talking to other people over Xbox Live all the time in the background, I don't think I would want to be recording later on at night. Unless he's not here. If he decides to go to the bar for whatever reason, then I'll do it, but I'm still not going to do it. I'm going to just get this done now, and then move on. In fact, it took me a little while to get to it because I was dying all over the place because I haven't played Jupiter's level in a while, so I might actually get to the crystal like sometime in the middle of the video and we'll actually start doing Saturn's level. yeah. I'll get this E thing. I don't know if I actually mentioned what this does in a previous part. It has been over a year, but just in case I didn't, it's basically like a piece of heart for energy tanks. You collect 4, and they make an energy tank for you, but they don't do anything on their own. They just basically get collected until you have 4. Also, there's a break dash wall here, and inside is Proto Man. Last time he gave me something... Well, he gave me the exact same thing last time, but last time I was actually full on health when I went in there, so I didn't appreciate it as much. But now I do. I'm actually going to do this so I don't actually have to get zapped by him. Also, I'm going to take out this B and get those P chips, because you can never have enough P chips. More P chips in this case now just means more chances to get energy tanks, possibly weapon tanks, and if we're full up on both of those, I'll go for a super tank, because you can only have 1 super tank at a time. But the others you can have up to 4. Unlike Mega Man 3, where you could basically just hold an infinite number of energy tanks. It wasn't limited. Or Mega Man 3 for the NES, I mean. The one that I played before. The first and I think only Mega Man game to not impose a limit on energy tanks. I think there might have been like a limit like 99 or something like that, but Mega Man 2 had 4, and the rest of them had 9, I believe. Also, there's another dude up here who I wish to get rid of using Bubble Bomb, because otherwise he's going to bounce around and hurt. And look like he was made by Dr. Robotnik. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy out here. As you can see, the fist on the Mega Arm is actually a lot bigger, and so it actually does a lot more damage. Now that's a good way to get those power-ups, but actually I'm going to use this as a chance to really demonstrate what the Deep Digger does. Because, also like the Super Arm in the very first Mega Man game, you can use it to clear these blocks just out of the way in order to get power-ups. Like this E-Tank part here. And there really isn't any reason for me to, you know, save the Deep Digger for anything, because we're not really going to be using it until we fight Terra, because that's actually Terra's weakness. Also, through the research I did, because I did do a bit of research before I started recording today, so that's how I know about what the crystals give us and where they are. But I also found out that Mercury and Neptune, we didn't actually have their weaknesses in the first part, because both of their weaknesses are weapons you get in the second part of the game. More specifically, Mercury's weakness is Black Hole, and I believe Neptune's is Deep Digger. But I've never seen Neptune in the position where you can actually use Deep Digger on him, so I don't know. I don't think even in the when you do the gratuitous boss rush at the end, I don't even think there's any blocks that you can pick up and throw at him there. But we're almost near where the crystal is. I just got to go through another space section here. Also, doing jump cuts right to where the crystal is would be bad for my rambling skills, I guess, because then I'll get too off topic and forget what I was talking about before, and I really hate when that happens. But anyway, as you can see here, we have both the way we went before, plus this ladder that goes up that we basically missed. I think I talked about it earlier when we went through Jupiter Stage the first time, but I think I mentioned that, you know, we'd be going to this later. You know, like I've been saying like 10 million times in the first half of this game, or the, you know, first few parts of this game. I was like, oh, we'll do that in a second. That'll be for later. Yeah, well, now it's later. We actually go up this ladder here, and this kind of leads to the way the crystal is. And I say kind of because we basically go up the ladder, and then we go back down. Well, that feels awfully silly. That seems awfully silly, you might be saying to yourself, or to me, even though I can't really hear you because this isn't live. And get some P-chips from him. But if you go back down the ladder here, as you can see, that little floor section that was originally on the floor there is now blocking our access to the right. So we can go down here. Also, center myself so I don't fall in spikes. I'm going to use Rush Jet here because I don't trust the ice, and I don't like to mix ice with jumping across spikes. And there's the crystal. How am I going to dispatch this enemy? I can probably use Black Hole here. That works. Alright, so again, not very trusting of ice and jumping, especially if I could instantly die here. There we go. Just because I'm not paranoid just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not after me. Use Deep Digger to get down here. And we have the crystal. I really don't think there's a way to exit the level manually, so I guess we just have to go to the end. Can we exit? No. So we can either make it to the end or die. I prefer to just make it to the end, that way we're not wasting these extra lives. Because 3 lives exiting the area is 3 lives going into the next one. And this actually just leads off to the end. There's really not much to see here, but... Yep, there's the end. So we can just go into Jupiter's room and then just teleport out, I guess. That's what happens in most Mega Man games. Let's see if we can afford anything from the lab. We can afford another E-Tank. How much is an energy refill? Because... Oh, 70. Well, actually, I'll do this. Because, yeah, I'd rather do that. Because, as I said before, weapon energy does not refill between stages. So that's handy to have full, especially since we're going to be needing a lot of Deep Digger. And I guess we have a couple minutes left, so we can just go ahead and start Saturn stage, why not? Again, I find it kind of odd how there are like these physical areas on these gas giants. I don't remember if I can break dash that or not. Huh. Because I think that might be where the crystal is. Can I break dash in... I cannot break dash in midair. So it wouldn't be that. Oh, it's here. I have to go across here to get the crystal. I don't remember if I showed this off before or not. Now that I think about it, I don't know if we saw the crystal or not before I mentioned what the crystals do. But there's the crystal for Saturn stage already. Just Deep Digger, and then get that. I guess we can cut the video short for a bit, because I'm fairly sure... You know, I feel bad enough dragging you through Jupiter stage. I'm not going to drag you through this stage as well. So when we come back, we will be in Pluto stage, preferably where the crystal is. That way I'm not dragging you through that stage too. Heck, I might record that now. I still have like an hour before I have to leave for work. But yeah, anyway. Yeah. I can just, I guess... record that and edit when we get home. Or something like that. I'm just throwing stuff out there. That's just gibberish. You don't need to... Notes to self. Don't disregard those. I've been Rado Goji, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?